Alright guys, so now we're moving on from the axles that we've built up. We can start looking at getting all the chassis put together and stuff, and it requires a ton load of nuts, bolts, washers, so it's going to be fiddly and possibly quite yeah, maybe getting pissed off every now and again with it, who knows. But just looking at this manual here, yeah, it doesn't look that bad, but it kind of... So I'm just thinking in my head the best way of doing this. Now I haven't uploaded some videos for a week. I've just been letting some of the older some of the older videos in the series, just letting people catch up with those. And not only that, we've got the Nationals coming up this week, so I've been busy with other stuff and just getting a couple of things ready. And then I've got my crawlers out, because it's getting to that time where the summer and I'm out crawling and up the quarry, so I've had quite a lot on RC wise, but a lot of it, like my crawler stuff, I don't do too much of that on YouTube other than the trail stuff, maybe odd bits. There's that much of it out there already, you don't need to see it again, do you? So I try and keep it fresh. So anyway, moving on. We're at part 13, and I might just bat on now and get as much as I can done of this in one video, or at least up until, let me think, let me just get this revised sheet. Right, if we do this page, which is step 13, 14, 15, if we get that bosh now, because there is a revised part for 16, which will be the first step when we turn that page. It's only small changes, which are, they've sent different screws basically to but to not confuse as much, I'll do that separately, and then you can kind of keep up with this separate, then it's not thrown into the middle somewhere. So we'll get these three parts done now. Yeah, the way I was thinking of going about it is, I'll explain a bit, maybe throw in a couple of nuts and bolts, bolted all together, just off the camera and stuff, because it's just a lot of nuts and bolts, and you don't really need to see all the nuts and bolts. I don't know, I watch build videos myself with the crawlers and other things, and sometimes you can watch stuff and it can get quite painful to watch, just watching people screw, so you get the gist of what we're doing, so we can just keep moving on. And I'm going to break this down into sections now, just to keep it a bit more simple. So moving on. Now I've got all these parts out here and all the screws and everything in there for the minute, and the plastics. And then the nuts and bolts. So there isn't like an order on here, because it'll sometimes show you like in the order of how to do it, number 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah. But looking at it, it's pretty straightforward. That'll go to the back, obviously, and that, but that'll bolt over the top of that, and then this onto this somehow. But we'll figure that out when we get to this bit. Also, because as I said, there isn't that much counting of holes. If you look there, the holes are marked out and the rest are just kind of just stamped into the plastics there. So the only other thing I was thinking is maybe using a straight edge down these red lines, just as a guideline, then we know what holes those screws are going through what. So it's not as I first thought, 3 up, 4 across and all that jazz. So firstly, I'm just going to get all these the right way around and just copy in the markings of the holes. Just getting an idea of what's going where. So that's all going to bolt up like so, roughly there. Now there's various size nuts and bolts in this little area. Right, so I'll start us off just going through each of the top corners. Which will then go into this one. Followed by a washer and a nut to the rear of that. I love these bolts. They look awesome. So the next one, and again just through that top corner, straight through, followed by another nut or washer and a nut. So I'm just going to pop the other two in, and then there's another couple of nuts and bolts which are coming from a different direction. So basically the ones through the front are just this, that and there. So I've got these 3 in, and the 4th one, the one which will go here, the nut just doesn't sit in this little groove. So I am just going to have to get the little Dremel tool on and groove that out slightly, just so I can seat one of them nuts into there. But that's the only issue I've come across so far with this build. So that one took a little grinding, not much, but it's on there now. Whew. So the next bit, so I've got these outer bolts in, dink, 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 dink. Let me have a look on this piece. There's a bolt gonna go through there. So confusing. Right, let's go to this one, XV117 XV. So there's only one of those, which can mean it's that one. So XV117, where's XV117 going? I'll be going through this all here. So I say it's going to be fiddly, and I'm wondering if to just crack on with these next bits and just show you like a progression type thing of how I'm progressing. So the only two bolts left in section 13 are going to be coming through the back of there, and the other one at the side of it, and one of those is going to be used. I'm going to pop a nut into there, and then that'll help clamp that on there. So this is going to need the little nut somehow, there we go, just sit within there. And which way will probably go in? Yep, that way. Oops. Should start biting through the nut now. Yep, we're through. Got it. So that's section 13 of the start of the chassis. Fiddly, a little bit of grinding out to do here where one of these nut bits go, and it looks like it may be like this for the foreseeable future. It's not looking like it's going to be too far, and then we'll be installing the Servonaut motor. And looking here, it's got its own little like engine housing, so that looks like it'll be a nice feature. So I'm going to take a break from this now. I'm going to give my dog a walk and go on a little trail or something maybe, and then we'll come back and finish bolting this and this up and finish 14 and 15, and we'll do that in this episode. So I'm just getting the parts out ready for step 14, and these little like tank mounts, TB1 it says they are. Now I've got quite a few trees with these. Now I've just had a look around the actual tree, and there is no sign of any lettering TB1, but upon a close inspection these TB1s are all the same. They're all exactly the same. The tank straps, the brackets, so there is no right or wrong one to use. They're all exactly the same, so I'm presuming they're all TB1. So section 14 is relatively simple, and we're just basically going to be fitting this up to there. Well, not sure which way around, probably that way around, and that'll enable us then to probably connect the other half of the chassis rail. Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward from now. So I've got my nuts, screws, washers and the parts required. As I do, I'm just going to go up and trim these bits off, make them nice and neat, and the excess bit of plastic from the parts tree, and then yeah, we can get these done. So there's only 3 holes to line up, got them the right way, and that one will sit in there like so. So working out these holes, XV119, the washer. So I'll be going through that first hole there, and I think that's just bolting directly to a nut. Just let me right, so yeah, tank bracket's going to sit over there, and a tiny little nut can drop into this hole here. I'm not even sure if you guys can see with this camera there, it's just
a bit awkward.
Not a screwdriver. And then this next one is just going to go through this centre hole here, and we're going from the front of this one. And I'm wondering if this little lip here may be for another tank bracket. We'll find out a little more in a minute. So there we have step 14. Now moving on to 15. So step 15, and really all we're doing is just mounting a tank bracket and the other half of the chassis. So same with the other tank bracket. Drop that little nut into there. So guys, there we have it. Parts 13, 14 and 15. Once you've figured that first section out, like 13, and got an idea for what's what and how it is going together, the rest kind of comes to pretty self-explanatory anyway. So next phase, we'll turn the page, step 16, and that's on the revised sheet. So we'll come and look at that in the next one. I've got a couple of other videos that'll be coming out in between. So yeah, as confusing as it is, but we got there. So thanks for watching, guys. Please do feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao for now, guys.